a second. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. I need to hit that button first. Wait, hit the button, Marty. Hit the button. There I am. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the Thursday FTG edition of Morning Night Live. Oh boy. Wait, I can't hear my Slack. That's because I have these up too loud. I'm assuming you can hear me. When I got home this morning, I caught an interview with, oh, there we go. Let's try that. Is that better? There was this interview that I was looking at on Twitter with this guy over here. He's a doctor. And he does, the gender transition stuff for kids. Now, they say they're not doing it on kids, but he's talking about kids. And I got a little angry because, they spend a lot of time telling you certain things to your face about the side effects and all the other stuff that goes on with this. But then when they talk to each other, like this is an interview of a doctor by another doctor, and they're talking to each other or whatever, and they leave little things out when they talk to your face, and I'm pretty sure they don't tell the parents these things either. And it's just fascinating how they will lie to you about the big experiment that's going on in many of our Western nations regarding this gender. Well, it is nonsense. I call it nonsense because it's nonsense. So, unfortunately, if that's not your thing, I mean, yes, I have other news, but that's my focus today. We're going to watch some of this interview. And other than that, we'll get in some, there's big things going on in the news that I am not, other people are covering, like the hearings yesterday with Christopher Wray. I got several articles pulled up, but everyone's talking about that. I'm going to talk about this. I'll talk about news, but I want to talk about this because it's an area that's just, I don't know why I'm fascinated about it, but it also just pisses me off. So that's what we're doing. So anyway, let's the local scrap guy give you $50. Wait, what? Maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know what that means. Anyway, that's the show. Johnny, stop the music. Will you play the stop? Thank you. All right, play the intro. No, the intro. Play the intro. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Hell to the Yezo. How you doing? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty. It's working. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where every once in a while I just go on rants. Like I kind of went back and listened to my show from yesterday. I had a couple rants yesterday, didn't I? I just got to going, and I might even clip those and make them separate videos. By the way, I still looking for someone who might want to do that for me. I don't always know what the good and bad parts of my show are, and if anyone wants to suggest, even if you just give me timestamps of sections I could cut out and make into separate videos, because I don't always have time to do it. Some of you watch on replays, so that would be helpful. Just give me the timestamps, and I'll clip them out and make standalones with those, because sometimes it's one of those things. Yeah, FTG to YouTube. Here, look, the solution to YouTube is absolutely Streamlabs. Okay, Streamlabs, they don't take 30% of what you give me. They're consistent. You get little blingy thing on the screen, although I do with the YouTube too. And you could become the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. So if you're going to sponsor the show, I encourage you highly to do it on Streamlabs. Plus, you can do it either through PayPal or a credit card. Credit card's even better because they take even less, at least for me. And I have no interest in, I don't keep track of who's there or not, other than I get your username. So it's a good deal. So, and I know it's a pain in the ass sometimes to open another window. If you're watching on a phone or whatever, it's sometimes annoying, but just have a separate window and, you can do it through there. And plus you could write as much as you want. YouTube, I love YouTube. It's the giant elephant that almost fills the room, but it certainly has, it's like a diseased elephant, Some things are really bad, and when it has a bad stomach, it's really stinky. So anyway, let's say good morning, everybody, and get this thing started. First, the chat over on Rumble. Speaking of which, Rumble rants work too. Venmo, Cash App, however you want to sponsor the show. I highly encourage you to do it. Drop a deuce on Tuesdays. It's $2 Tuesday. Drop a deuce. That would be helpful, especially as I'm about to go under the knife in August, so I got to kind of get some, got to put some cash away. I don't have any. I'm going to be off work for about 2 months, so on both of my jobs, both the jobs that I do, and even my side gig, I can't do it because my side gig involves some heavy lifting. So so we'll figure it out. I don't know. And I'm not going to cancel my vacation that we planned over a year ago. We paid for it over a year ago. We got our tickets, and so we're just going to go on it. We're going to we're going to suck it up for the most part. But anyway, all right, let's say hi though. First in the chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diabli. Yes. Had a little trouble with my studio audience is kind of asleep. Wake up! We're kind of asleep today. Also, good morning, next gen troll, and that's it. That's everyone on Rumble. What's going on? Usually there's a few people watching over there. Anyway, say hi if you're watching on Rumble. And then on YouTube, which I haven't done the live chat yet. Oh no, okay, it's froze. What happened? No, I lost my chat. Anyway, I know that the first person over there was Renee Mayette, who gets the bell. Oh. Well, that was, I'm so used to hitting that for Avocados Diablo. I did it again. Renee Mayette was first. And I apologize. Now everyone else is not going to be in order. So if you haven't chatted for a while, I might miss you. Good morning also to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony, Tyrannis Alexandrias Dramalich, also known as Ty Alexander. Jeffrey Russell Jr. is back. Nice to see you, sir. Groomer be gone. Okay, is okay. You've got some groomer repellent. Groomer be gone is okay, but I prefer a can of yeet 'em into the sun. Yes, that's very good. Good morning, Games Lames, Lord Stanhope, fake news expert, GDSOB. Also, of course, Avocados Diabli. I said Jaeger Pony. I said Tyler F's in the house. Simon Humboldt Nation. Renee Mayette, I already said because she was first. Johnny Hellcat, the original, the very first ever viewer of the Morning Night Live is in the house. Nice to have you here, sir. Also, good morning, Uncle Bobbity, but Uncle Bobbity says he might be going back to sleep. Jerry Sleepy, going to grab a few more Z's. Have an awesome street. Well, thank you, Uncle Bobbity. I don't know if you are here long enough to hear that. Good morning, Unacceptable Views. Good morning, Attack Alpaca. Good morning to Nomads in the house.
Hammer time.
Also, good morning. Is that everybody? It's hard to tell because I missed the first half of the stretch. Oh, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Is in the house. And Chicago Mike. Good to see you. All right, and Sully's dropped in over on Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, make sure you say hi over there. I appreciate it. Welcome everybody, and please, as I ask every day, this show is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. If you'd be so kind Hit the like button while you're here. 19 people, 9 likes. That's an okay start, but go ahead and hit it now because you know you're gonna like it. And then also share the stream right now, whatever social media you use. In fact, let me go check the notifications. Has anybody shared the stream yet? I didn't. I failed to share the stream. What is wrong with me? But I'm gonna retweet whoever shared the stream. There it is. There it is, Somnambul Nation. I'm just going to retweet you today. Thank you for joining the show. This is questions. I've been getting a lot of engagement on Twitter lately, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm very insightful or I've kind of changed my Twitter whatever habits. But my notifications are just filled up all the time. And maybe it's because I'm very selective about what I type about. But anyway, share the stream on whatever social media you use. Drop it on. And look, if you're on YouTube, it's easy. Just click the share arrow down here. I think it's about right there somewhere in here. Hit the share arrow. Click the social media you want to share it on. And poof, there it goes. Boom, bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, or you can just copy the link and drop it in your Facebook page. You can drop it on Tumblr. You can drop it on whatever stuff. Reddit. Is there a subreddit of this show? I don't even know. I'm not sure. You can drop it on Locals. Unfortunately, I did not do it on Locals. That was dumb. I forgot to tweet the show. I was getting coffee. I had to refill my coffee because you know me and coffee. Okay, I got a question too. During yesterday's show, I didn't realize it until the end of the show. Yesterday was a bit of a milestone on this show, and it's not a milestone because of like a numerical milestone. Like sometimes a milestone is, X number of episodes, whatever. It was 1092, so that's not really a milestone number. You wouldn't call that a milestone number. But yesterday was the first show. Does Tumblr exist? I don't even know. I know. Hello, Blue-Eyed Screen, by the way. Yesterday was a milestone in that it was the very first episode of the Morning Night Live. One out of 1,092 episodes of this show. It was the first show that I forgot to get a cup of coffee. I'm like, something's going wrong with my day today. When I left my basement, my little studio I got built down here, I did not have a cup of coffee yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm walking up the stairs and there's nothing in my hand. I usually have my, mostly empty coffee cup. I didn't have one. I'm like, what? No way. Every single episode of this show, I've had a cup of coffee, and that one I didn't. So I had to double up this morning. I had one already, and this is my second one in my famous Grandpa Cup, established 2022. By the way, also, I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I mention that I'm going to have another grandchild soon? I don't know if I told this because I waited till my daughter really wasn't making an announcement, but she was waiting until after my son's wedding because she didn't want to. She didn't want to kind of make, take any of the thunder away. But then my son found out she was pregnant beforehand. But yeah, my daughter's pregnant again. She's due, I think, I want to say February or something. It's fascinating because, I think they're due in maybe January, February. It's interesting because my daughter and son are, what is it, 19? Let's see, October and November. They're 21 months apart, and my daughter's children, first two children, because she wants to have more than two, they're going to be 21 months apart. So I just thought that was fascinating. Anyway, I'm excited. We don't know any details other than it's a baby, and thankfully they're going to close on their new house in the end of July. They're going to be moving during the month of August, because they have a whole month of August to do that. But anyway, so yeah, we're excited. We're gonna have another little cherub child in the family, another grandchild. We're excited. And so there you go. We had a wonderful year so far. I mean, our 30th anniversary, our son got married. We're having my wife's 60th birthday. We have found out we're gonna have another grandchild. It's been a good year, and hopefully we'll continue our streak of good things. And and Lady Boomer and I just do a lot of traveling. It's not like traveling. We go and do something every weekend, and we've had a really good year just so far. So we're really happy about that. Okay, so let's get into the show today. Now, I really didn't get into the trending topics on Twitter today. I'm sure most of them are related to Christopher Wray, because Christopher Wray testified in front of Congress yesterday and got grilled pretty, handily. Well, okay, wait a minute. Let me put it this way. It's what you expected. It was the Democrats doing their best to make sure Christopher Wray's taint was perfectly licked clean, and then the Republicans and then trying to be snarky with the Republicans, and then the Republicans being snarky with Christopher Wray, and in many ways deservedly so. So, for a couple examples, let's get into that a little bit before I get into the main topic, because where is it? I think Matt Gates's little zinger at the end. What happened to that one? Where is it? Oh shoot, maybe. Let's see here. I know it's here somewhere. Matt Gaetz, Daily Caller. Here we go. Let's go with Matt Gaetz. His questioning of Director Getz. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, though, first sponsor of the day is not only the first sponsor of the day, but also the first viewer of the Morning Night Live did it. Thank you, Mr. Johnny Hellcat. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Dropping a 10 spot in the tip jar. Thank you very much. Johnny Hellcat says, here's the good news. Well wishes on the upcoming surgery. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny because these surgeries now, hip replacements they do them all the time. They're pretty much a routine surgery. The success rate is extremely high, whatever. And I have one of the best hip doctors in Minnesota doing it, which helps. This is a guy who does ortho for the Vikings and does a lot of knees and hips and stuff like that. So I'm confident, and I appreciate that, Johnny Hellcat. And thank you for being the first sponsor of the day. Appreciate it. That's fantastic. All right, let's go into Matt Gaetz, whatever he calls himself. Caps off grilling the FBI director with a last-second zinger. And do they have video? Of course they do. How long is this?
Don't you see that that's kind of the thing, Director Wray, that you preside over the FBI that has the lowest level of trust in the FBI's history? People trusted the FBI more when J. Edgar Hoover was running the place than when you are. And the reason is because you don't give straight answers. You give answers that later a court deems aren't true.
Damn,
and then at the end of the day,
you won't
criticize an obvious shakedown when it's directly in front of us. And it appears as though you're whitewashing the conduct of corrupt people.
Respectfully, Congressman, in your home state of Florida, the number of people applying to come work for us and devote their lives working for us is up over 100%.
We're deeply proud of them, and they deserve better than you.
Ow! 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 Oh! Damn! Stop! Wait, I don't want to. Stop! I don't want to play that. Damn! We're proud of that. Look. A lot of people apply for the FBI because it's it's one of those government jobs that's really hard to get fired from, and you get really good benefits and a great pension and all that stuff. One of the few industries that still does, pensions. So, Christopher Wray, you can eat my shorts when it comes to that stupid zinger. And you know what's funny? Here's what's hilarious about that. So now I didn't watch a whole lot of I didn't watch a whole lot. I've watched a few clips, but I haven't watched much of it. So that's why I'm not talking about it today too. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the parts I did watch were basically him denying the conspiracy theories, right? But it's interesting that he happened to have that little tidbit on the top of his brain when speaking to Matt Gaetz, right? Did you hear that again? He said, what did he say? Something about applications to work for the FBI are up 100% in Florida. Really? So that's something you brought with you to have during a hearing questioning the FBI on some of the things they've done over the last few years. That Florida applications to the FBI are up 100%. Really? That's the most important thing you researched and looked up before you came into this hearing when you knew some of the questions you were going to get? That's insane, okay? That's insane. And you get a cool windbreaker. Yes, you get a cool windbreaker if you work for the FBI. That is hilarious. Black Hebrew Israelite, thank you for sponsoring the show. I don't know why that's not working. There we go. Right. Actually, it should be this. I got to move that. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for dropping a deuce in the tip jar. I will gladly clean that up later. Who says, after 3 years of protecting the I'm assuming that means Ray Epps, are the feds going to toss Ray Epps salad and charge him for January 6th? Don't hold your breath.
That's right.
That's what his lawyer said in his lawsuit against Fox News.
That's right.
Maybe he'll get the Hunter Biden treatment.
That's
well,
right.
that seems to be, yeah, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. But, there is news on that front, by the way. And I happen to have pulled it up. Okay. This is interesting. According to his attorney, though, looks like Ray Epps might be charged. According to his attorney. Ray Epps to be criminally charged for events on January 6th, his attorney says. Now, this is fascinating. This is one of those where I go, really, motherfucker? The attorney for Ray Epps, a man seen in a video wearing a Trump hat during the January 6th. Now, wait a minute. Why are they saying it like that? Everyone knows who Ray Epps is. A man seen in a video wearing a Trump hat during the January 6th riot says that his client has been informed by federal law enforcement officials that they intend to charge him in connection with the events of that day. The revelation was made in a lawsuit that Epps filed against Fox News on Wednesday that accused the network and former host Tucker Carlson of defaming him. Epps has long been accused by many of being an undercover federal agent who instigated some of the events that day. He has strongly denied being a federal agent. Well, look, yeah, that's interesting. He's strongly denied being a federal agent. Doesn't mean has he denied being an informant, being paid shill? Who knows? Now, buried deep in the lawsuit, Epps' lawyer says that the DOJ recently informed Epps that it plans to prosecute him. Epps' lawyer blamed Carlson for the potential forthcoming charges. Oh, really? You mean it has nothing to do with everyone and their brother having video of you running around telling people they need to go into the Capitol, being part of the first group that breached the barriers, being part of the group that was up in front of the Capitol, shoving a sign back at the police officers? You were physically doing that. Telling people what and what not to take in there so they don't get shot. The idea that you weren't inciting anything, that you did nothing. Oh, and when you text your nephew or something saying that, yeah, I orchestrated it. Oh, really? There's a lot of evidence that we all saw, and we're all wondering why you haven't already been arrested. Anyway, and he's blaming Tucker Carlson for the potential forthcoming charges. Wait a minute. Hey, Ray, You mean you weren't there? You didn't do anything? You didn't say anything? You didn't talk to anyone? You didn't do anything? Oh, fantastic. Because there's a grandma who was just on the Capitol steps who got arrested and got charged. So there are people who just standing around. They went up there. They didn't hurt nobody. They just were there. Some people walked in. This insurrection that wasn't really an insurrection. You know, every time I hear that damn word related to January 6th, I think to myself, so if this was an insurrection, and they were trying to take over the government of the United States, right? All, 300, 400 people that made it inside. How was 300 people unarmed going to take over the entire government of the United States? What was the plan? So the plan was, okay, we're going to run up and we're going to make a lot of noise in front of the Capitol building, right? And then when the police officers start throwing flashbangs, some of us are going to fight with the police officers. Some of us are going to break windows because, oh, wait, that was the Antifa guy who was getting people to break windows. But anyway, they're going to make their way in and then they're going to go inside. Okay, they're going to take over the government by doing this. They're going to get inside the building. Now, some of it was the people broke it, but then other people were let in. And I'm sure if it was insurrection, maybe those people let him and we're in on it. Then we're going to go inside. We're going to stand around and take selfies and do some stupid shit. And then after a couple hours, we're just going to leave. And that's how we take over the government of the United States of America. That's the insurrection. That was the plan to overthrow the government of the United States of America, to get inside the building and then just take a bunch of selfies doing stupid shit? Wow, that's fucking brilliant. That certainly was an insurrection. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, back to this article. Finally, in May 2023, the Department of Justice notified Epps that it would seek to charge him criminally for events on January 6, 2021. 2.5 years later. Now remember, let me pull out of this real quick because I got to show you something. Let me show you something. It happens to be in my notifications because I was talking about this with somebody on Twitter a couple days ago. Where is it? So the idea, he hasn't been charged, right? Where is it? Oh, I got to go to my, here, let me go to my profile. I'll find it easier that way. Because here's this is kind of hilarious. So this is CNN. This is CNN. Oops, don't close that. There we go. This is CNN. Now, mind you, Epps' name has been brought up hundreds of times, right? Everyone knew Epps' name. Everyone knows it because he's been in congressional hearings. He's been all over the news because people were wondering why this man hasn't been arrested. CNN yesterday posted this tweet about, now, and I don't even think it was, I don't even know if it goes to an article, but here's the tweet. Just in, an Arizona man targeted by January 6 conspiracy theorists sues Fox News, accusing the network and former host Tucker Carlson of defamation. Really? An Arizona man. Just some random Arizona man. And then this is the link that they send you to, which is just, this is, here it is. Arizona man. Now, in the second, and this is Oliver Darcy, who's very close with Brian Stelter, which, I don't know what that means. Anyway, Arizona man targeted by January 6th conspiracy theorists sue Fox News for defamation. Conspiracy theorists? You mean the people who are asking questions about all the video evidence that we have that Ray Epps was front and center from the entire thing, and he was trying to get people to go into the Capitol. Not just into the Capitol, but into the Capitol. We must go into the Capitol. That guy? who his name gets brought up by Ted Cruz and all kinds of congressmen at every hearing, and we all know his name. He's just Arizona Man. Now, they do. Now, when he in the article, they do finally say, Mike Savage, blog, how you doing? They finally do say Ray Epps, the Arizona Man that conspiracy theorists falsely claim led an FBI plot. Wow, Oliver, you starting out with a pretty big straw man there. No one claims he led an FBI plot. Who the hell said that? Now they have a link here. What's the link to this? What do they link to when they say this? Oh, they link to themselves. Man accused of January 6th truthers of being FBI infiltrator denies claim in interview with House Select Committee. Okay. that he had nothing to do with the FBI. He was not a plan. Look, what does it say? In the aftermath of the events of January 6th, Fox News searched for a scapegoat to blame other than Donald Trump or the Republican Party, the lawsuit says. This is part of the lawsuit. This is the lawsuit. This is a quote. Eventually, they turned on one of their own. Oh, wait a minute. CNN. Now, let's get real. Let's take a look at something here. You mean this Arizona Man, CNN? Yeah, by the way, everyone knew his name long before Tucker Carlson ever interviewed him. People had already figured out who he was, and the only reason they started talking about him is because the people on the internet figured it out long before CNN ever knew his name. Okay, and in fact, the FBI, the fucking Bureau of Investigation, federal, had Ray Epps on their most wanted list. This is still the pinned tweet on the FBI field office as of today. The FBI is still seeking information regarding people who committed violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Visit blah, 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 violence, blah, 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 blah. Now, not all these people committed violence. Ray Epps didn't necessarily, well, okay, so there's a video of, I think it's the Capitol Police. They have the protesters had a giant sign, right? Like the rectangle sign that they could push up there. And they were trying to push it up to the front where the Capitol Police officer, and they're trying to push it back, right? And there is video of Ray Epps pushing that sign at the officers. So if you're considering that violence against the officers by all these, it was like 10 people pushing this big giant sign. If you count that as violence, then Ray Epps was involved in violence. Now, I don't know if you want to call it violence or not, but they are seeking all these people. Well, this guy in the yellow down at the bottom here, that's Ray Epps. He was one of the most wanted from the January 6th events, right? So, clearly, CNN, who put this stupid article out, an Arizona Man target. Everyone knows the name Ray Epps by now. So I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, so let's see. Then now, let's see. Spokesman for Fox News did not immediately return a request for comment. Neither did Carlson. The lawsuit from Epps comes after his lawyer demanded a retraction in March over the fanciful notion Carlson advanced on his show. Oh, you mean the opinion by an opinion journalist on an opinion show on TV? Yeah, like First Amendment shit? How did they defame you? By showing you video of you doing what he said you were doing and wondering why, whether or not you were an informant or what your problem was or why you weren't arrested? How it gets curiouser and curiouser? Retract what? Exactly. Wondering if you might be an FBI informant, since that's kind of the FBI MO. Now, did he say you were an FBI informant? Did he say you were an FBI agent? Did he say you orchestrated the entire thing? Oh, no. You said in a text message to your nephew that you orchestrated it. Even though you may have been just bluster. Who knows? So anyway, and then As a part of that conspiracy theory, some right-wing figures falsely claim that Epps was part of a secret FBI plot to orchestrate the attack. Well, I don't know. And are conspiracy theories illegal? Is it legal to say that? Is it defamation to say that? And also, the way he says this, what did he say here? He said, some right-wing figures falsely claimed Epps was part of a secret FBI plot to orchestrate the attack. Did he say that? That's part of the conspiracy theory, according to Oliver Darcy. Really? Or maybe to incite people? Because clearly Ray Epps constantly telling people we need to go in to the Capitol would seemingly be a form of incitement, right? Why would you say to go into the Capitol if you know the Capitol is closed, but you're still telling people they need to go into the Capitol? What and why? And as people were walking to the site of the Capitol, right? He's yelling at people which way to go. Your enemies are in there, in the Capitol. Who are what? Really? These are your enemies, Ray Epps? That's what you said. So how would that not be incitement? Interesting. And so there are a lot of people who have been charged and some who have been convicted of things that are much, much, much less incitement-y. I don't know what the word is. That looks much less, way less than what you did. You were part of the first group that breached the barricades. Now, did you personally touch the barricades? No, but you were talking to the guy who pushed the barricades down, knocked a woman police officer over, and you followed right behind them, right up the steps to the Capitol building. You were right there. There's video of you doing it, Ray. So what are you talking about? So all this, the discovery in the Fox News lawsuit is going to be golden, freaking golden. I would love to subpoena everybody on this one. It would be awesome. So, and now what's funny, too, is CNN was not the only news outlet who described him as an Arizona man. Let me look up Ray Epps real quick. See if I can find the Reuters article. Just bear with me. Because everybody, here's something Prosobiec put up here. Receipts. Washington Post, New York Times, Bloomberg, and Rolling Stone are now not referring to January 6th as an insurrection or even a riot because they are now defending Ray Epps. This is interesting. Now January 6th was rallies, demonstrations, and protests. So here's, he just pulled these up. Let's look at these real quick. Here, I'm full screen. Thank you. Ray Epps attended the pro-Trump rallies in Washington in January 2021, but was not among the people who have found to have breached the Capitol building and has not been charged for his conduct. Wait a minute, pro-Trump rallies? You mean, but he breached the barriers to the Capitol that the officers had lined up there, the bicycle rack barriers? That's interesting. He just attended the pro-Trump rallies. He didn't do anything. He never told anybody to go into the Capitol. Here's the, let's see, who's this? New York Times. What's known about the man? We know a lot more about Ray Epps than that. A two-time Trump voter named Ray Epps is that he took part in demonstrations in Washington that day and the night before. Took part in demonstrations? He was captured on camera, urging the crowd to march with him and enter the Capitol. But at other points, he pleads for calm once it becomes clear the situation is turning violent. He can be seen moving past the blah, blah, blah. And here is Bloomberg. Fox News by Trump supporter accusing of inciting a January 6th riot. Down here, a former Marine who voted for Donald Trump and joined the January 6, 2021 protest. Oh, I thought it was an insurrection. Apparently not. And who's this? Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone? In the aftermath of the events on January 6, Fox News search for escape. Okay, that's the lawsuit. Oh, in there, here it is. The suit. This is the part of the suit. Eventually turned on one of their own, telling a fantastical story in which Ray Epps, who was a Trump supporter, had participated in protest on January 6th. What happened to the insurrection? They're softballing it for Ray Epps, but they will call it insurrection for everybody else. All right, now, where's the Reuters one though, man? The Reuters one, well, everyone's talking about it now. The Reuters one cracks me up because Reuters too also referred to him as an Arizona man in their headline, as opposed to Ray. They don't mention his name in the headline, and several outlets did that, and I'm like, Are you all serious? Are you serious? And watching the FBI and Department of Justice suddenly reconstruct the Ray Epps story so he can successfully sue Fox News and Tucker is hysterical. They know their entire January 6th BS talking points fall apart with Ray Epps, but they think you're stupid. Let's see. Here's and the motives for this. Julie Kelly puts this out very succinctly. Other motives behind Ray Epps' lawsuit: blame Fox for his actions on January 6th, if when charged, which he has been now, insulate himself if Samsel calls Epps as a defense witness in an upcoming trial. Epps whispered in Samsel's ear before he breached the barrier. Now, remember that? So when they breached the barrier to the Capitol, okay, remember, like 3 seconds before the guy went up and they all pushed the barriers together, Ray Epps whispered something in his ear. And that guy is called Ray Epps as a witness in his trial. So here it is. Make that so you can see it. Finally, on May 2023, the Department of Justice notified Epps that it would seek to charge him criminally for the events on January 6, 2021, 2.5 years later. The reckless attacks, this is in Ray Epps' suit against Fox, the reckless attacks by Fox and Mr. Carlson and the resulting political pressure likely resulted in the criminal charges. Well, you know what? Show that to your average Washington, D.C. jury and see if they think that it's overblown. Because they're convicting everybody. They're convicting everybody up in here. Although it is difficult to believe that the Department of Justice would have pursued this matter if Fox had not focused its lies on Epps. Really? You mean the video evidence? Ultimately, the criminal charges conclusively demonstrate the falsehood of the story that Mr. Carlson and Fox told about Epps. Well, wait a minute. One video shows Epps speaking with the protester named Ryan Samsel at the first barricade just before Mr. Samsel helped to breach it. When the FBI interviewed Mr. Samsel on January 2021, before Fox spread lies about Epps, and before Mr. Samsel had any reason to lie about his interaction with Epps, Mr. Samsel informed the FBI that Epps told him, relax, the cops are just doing their job. Really? If the cops are just doing their job, then why would he immediately go and try to push him about how to push through the barricades? Not only have Fox lies caused severe harm to Epps and Robin, but they have also turned Epps into a character in a cartoonish conspiracy theory used by criminal defendants in a desperate attempt to avoid responsibility for their behavior on January 6th, despite Epps' attempt to calm those around him. Go into the Capitol. The crowd pushed through the barricades and rushed toward the Capitol. Really? Wow, that was amazing timing. Just as Ray Epps was trying to calm the young man, the young man turned and immediately went and pushed the barriers. Wow, your calming effect sucks, Ray Epps. After Mr. Samuels and others broke down the barricades, Epps followed and continued attempting to defuse the situation. Bullshit! He was yelling like he might as well have had a bugle and a cavalry flag telling everybody to follow up the steps. He wasn't trying to calm the situation. Video evidence, motherfucker! Oh, you lying piece of shit! After some in the crowd used a Trump sign as a battering ram, he was there pushing it with them. Holy shit, there's video of him pushing it with. Epps asked police officers if it's acceptable for the protesters to be a step below the police line. And when the police said it was, Epps patrolled that line, telling anyone who stepped up to step back. He regularly reminded the Trump supporters to be respectful of the police. It was even captured on body cam videos that Mr. Carlson gained access to, telling the police he appreciated them. Well, a lot of people there were telling the police they appreciated. A lot of people were just a lot of people took selfies with the police. That still didn't stop them from getting convicted. Good God. Yeah, FTG Ray Epps. Everyone. Good morning, Select Boy. How you doing? Nice to see you. I wasn't paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, boy.
Anyway. Enough about that asshole. Now, I have so many other articles open. Clearly, I'm not going to get to them because this next little video that we're going to watch is the theme of the show today. And, but I do, wait a minute. I do have one tweet from a congressman who is basically got beclowned in the by the community notes. And I want to show you this because this is Hakeem Jeffries, the new minority leader of the House of Representatives, a Democrat who is aspiring to be the Speaker of the House if the Democrats take over the House in 2024. Remember we were talking about inflation yesterday. Well, he decided to chime in about inflation. And the Twitter community notes got his ass. Here it is. Hakeem Jeffries says, inflation is down for the 12th consecutive month and is at the lowest level in 2 years. Whoa, in a whole 2 years? You mean during the entire Biden administration? We promised to lower costs for everyday Americans. President Biden is delivering. Oh, is that what 3% inflation means? That you're lowering costs? What a dipshit. So anyway, the community notes had a little, let's see, how's it rated, by the way? I'm going to rate this. Rate the community notes. Yes, it is absolutely helpful. And it is, okay, good. It is cites, it's easy to understand, directly addresses the tweet's claim, provides important context, neutral or unbiased language. There, that's a perfect community note. So here's the community note. Lower costs requires negative inflation. A falling rate of inflation means that prices are increasing less than they were before. So Hakeem Jeffries can kiss my grits. What show is that from? I know it was Alice, what's her name? Flo on Alice used to say, kiss my grits. You got to be old to know what that's about. All right, let's talk about this nonsense, because it's nonsense. And, I talk a lot about this thing with the I don't know what else to call it. I'll call it propaganda of trans, right? Because it's weird that how this has come about. And actually, there's a great video by Christopher Rufo. In fact, I think I might have bookmarked. Let me see if I bookmarked that. Kind of giving you the kind of how this became such a mainstream thing that's being pushed. That's in my it's in my show bookmarks. Hang on a second here. Let's see. Oh no, did I not bookmark it? I guess I didn't. Okay, never mind. Anyway, talking about how, I don't know if you know, J.D. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois. His sister, who was once his brother, is a big-time trans activist. And when this person transitioned, it's funny because they called this person the first transgender billionaire. Well, the person was a billionaire before they changed. And that person is one of the key people who has put tons of money, especially in the state of Illinois, but it's spreading around the country, putting a lot of money into this kind of transgender agenda, right? He spends a lot of, whatever. This person spends a ton of money on pushing transgenderism in education in particular. And if you know, a lot of the things that are happening, let me find Christopher Rufo, because I do want to put this in the links today so that you can look it up yourself. Here it is. I'll put it in the links today. I'm not going to go through this because I want to talk about this particular doctor. But I do highly, highly, highly recommend you checking out this. It's a 12-minute video. It's definitely worth the time. I just don't have time today. Talking about how this movement has gotten its big push, okay? And he's calls it transgender empire. It'll be in the links today. So look for the Christopher Rufo tweet right here. This is it. Transgender movement has conquered American life. In a new short film, I explain how the movement gained power and connect the dots between its key intellectuals, billionaire benefactor, and a large-scale medical experiments in a Detroit ghetto. Okay? Now, let's talk about the experimental part of that sentence, though, because that is the key topic today. And I came across this this video here of an interview, and we'll do this part first, and then I'll do as much time for the rest of it as we can to finish out the show. But I want to give you this segment first. Now, this is a doctor being interviewed by another doctor, and they're talking about issues with trans stuff, right? So here it is. Let's take a look at this and listen to this. And listen to this carefully, because I'll stop it in the places that caught my ear quickly.
Future or not. And then it's also hard to have that conversation with someone that maybe hasn't went through puberty or ever engaged in sexual activity. It's a really tricky thing. And when it comes time to actually do surgery, if an individual does go through suppression and ultimately is in their latter teenage years and wants a vaginoplasty, not only are...
Now wait, let's stop here. Let's stop right there. Okay. What he's talking about, and at least I don't know if it's specifically, but I'm sure it's referenced somewhere in here. The World Transgender, what do they call it? Whatever that, professional something, transgender health. World Professional Association of Transgender Health, WPATH. President of that has said that, you know, when you put kids on puberty blockers, 100% of the males she put on puberty blockers have never been able to have any sexual sensation. You know what I'm saying? Like they never have an orgasm, never nothing, right? 100% of the male patients she's put on puberty blockers, and she's done hundreds, a couple thousand of these surgeries and patients who've gone through puberty blockers. Not a single one has ever been able to have any kind of sexual function afterwards. None, not zero, nada. Okay. And so his first there's a couple things in this first sentence that he says here. One, it's hard.
And then it's also hard to have that conversation with someone that maybe hasn't went through puberty or ever engaged in sexual activity. It's a really...
You can't... So you're talking to children who have no idea what you're giving up because you've never engaged in any kind of sexual activity. You've never had any kind of sexual sensations when you go on puberty blockers. And so this is why it's hard to talk to them, because they're children. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They don't know what they're going to lose. So none of these people know that down the road, they're not going to be able to have this other sensation that you gain through going through puberty. Okay. And then there's another part of this that I caught immediately, and I stopped it there. I'm going to stop it there again. Listen again.
Tricky thing. And when it comes time to actually do surgery.
When it comes time to actually do surgery, listen carefully.
Individual does go through suppression and ultimately is in their latter teenage years. And
is ultimately what?
And ultimately is in their latter teenage years. And
Is ultimately in their latter teenage years. I thought we weren't doing any surgeries on kids. When he says that, what? Think of Jazz Jennings. Oh, they're not doing this to teens. Well, wasn't Jazz Jennings 15 when they did the surgery? Jazz Jennings wasn't an adult when they did the surgery. But, oh my gosh, Mom and Jazz got on TV and they're famous. Oh, wait, isn't she the one who really doesn't like to do the dilation thing anymore? I'm waiting for Jazz Jennings to completely regret this. But anyway.
And wants a vaginoplasty. Not only
teenager
are they
wants a
facing the struggle
vaginoplasty.
of not having a lot of tissue to work with.
Oh, that's familiar. Yeah, that's why they couldn't do it with Jazz Jennings, because they didn't have a lot of tissue to work with.
But that tissue hasn't been under the influence of testosterone, which definitely affects some things.
Wait a minute. Why is that? Oh, because you use puberty blockers, right? But I thought you could reverse the effects of puberty blockers. Is that an admission that you cannot reverse the effects of puberty blockers? That's permanent, right? Oh, they're 100% reversible. Wait a minute. No, they're not.
And a lot of patients, just from psychosocial issues and the dysphoria that they're experiencing, or just blatant transphobia in society, may have not had the opportunity to have a sexual partner.
Whoa. What? It has nothing to do. Well, maybe a little bit with society, because some people just aren't into that. Sorry. I'm sorry. You think you're something that I don't understand? I'm going to stay away from that. Am I supposed to understand your personal dysphoria? And I'm sorry, not for me. Okay? It has, even if whatever.
And more often than not, there's been almost no genital engagement in terms of self-stimulation or masturbation.
And why is that? Because you blocked the puberty that causes those urges. You used puberty blockers, which basically you lose that urge because you're not getting the normal body development that causes those hormones to have those urges. That's why you did it. It's your fault, Doc. It's your fucking fault. But you don't see it. You're in this grand experiment that you cannot stop because, it'll help everyone else, feel better about themselves. Really? You're going to destroy thousands of children so a few people can feel better about themselves? How about giving them therapy instead? Oh, wait till you hear what else he says.
So then trying to assess things like erogenous outcomes after a surgery.
There are none.
Never had an erogenous.
There are none. 100% sexual function's lost. So you can't have erogenous outcomes. It's permanent. It's not reversible.
This experience in their life is incredibly difficult because they
wait a minute. But you said this was when they were a child or they were younger. You said this is all going to be fine. This is going to make you better. This is going to make you feel better about your life. This is going to be the perfect thing for you, that you will feel better about being in your body, that you feel like you're not, you feel like you're in the wrong body. I thought this was going to be all fucking gin and roses. I don't know why I thought of gin. I don't know. Something. Kool-Aid, lemonade. It's, snow cones and roses. As a kid, snow cones would probably get him excited, right? Nope. What? You're never going to have this function that you didn't even know about when you were a little younger? They decided to put you on blockers? Permanent damage.
a baseline to compare it to.
Whoa, wait. Go back to this. This is the other part too.
Ever had an erogenous experience in their life is incredibly difficult because they don't really have a baseline to compare it to.
Right, because you stole that from them by putting them on the blockers. That's why they have no baseline to compare it to. And guess what? The child doesn't have any way of understanding that before you convince them and their parents that this is a good idea. And you don't really tell the parents this, right? You're just saying, "Oh my God, this is the best way to stop them from committing self-ending." That's the only thing you tell them. You don't tell them the side effects. You don't tell them the fact that, "Oh, well, we don't know what this is going to be like 5 or 10 years down the road. Wait for it."
And then, post-operative care, anyone knows that seeing a post-operative vaginoplasty patient is really intense. And we're kind of asking someone that.
It's really intense. Yes, you have to take a thing that basically a dildo-esque type of device and shove it in yourself to keep the wound open. Very intense, isn't it? This is just for the female to male. Or excuse me, male to female. Imagine the female to male too. They try to take off another part of your body and turn it into a fake penis that's not really functional and causes all kinds of infections. Oh, that's good. But wait a minute.
Vaginoplasty patient is really intense, and we're kind of asking someone that
has
is
no
younger
idea
and hasn't really engaged.
They're younger. Wait a minute. I thought these children knew exactly what they were getting into. You mean they don't? They're younger? Oh, they don't understand it? That this is going to be really, you're going to be a permanent medical patient for the rest of your life. How do we tell a child how to understand the rest of your life?
Aged or done much with their genitalia to all of a sudden do this like really aggressive relaxation for dilation, and it's just a huge ask. So
it's a huge ask, and you're asking a 12-year-old or 10-year-old who their parents probably have a little, I can't call it Munchausen by proxy. It's more like they they just want to be able to they want to be a good parent. And I understand the desire to be a good parent. But some ways it's like, this is how you get your gratification of being a better person, because you're doing something that, oh my gosh, that the society isn't like it. I'm going to virtue signal by saying that I can get some attention from having this child, because right now these people are praised up and down by a community because they're so inclusive. And man, and they have rainbow parades at the school, and the teachers talk about it all the time and praise the kids who are just trying to be themselves. They get praised constantly, and they have a whole month where they do fun things and rainbows and dances and parades and all this. How would you not want to be a part of that? They have pride. Oh my God.
We're finding that to be a barrier almost more so than, yes, the surgery is technically challenging and demanding, but I think we're developing pretty good strategies to deal with that.
Oh, are we now? It's a kind of a barrier, and we're developing strategies to deal with that. Really? What do you mean you're developing strategies? I thought this was settled science. What do you mean you're developing strategies? What are you talking about?
But what we really need is like a robust support system.
Whoa, what? Wait a minute. What we need is a robust support system. Wait a minute, you haven't figured this out yet? You don't already have one? What are you talking about?
Really need is like a robust support system, and I think there's going to be a huge role for therapy peri-operatively in terms of even preoperative genital engagement, trying to have those conversations, preparedness, readiness, support through that postoperative.
There's a huge opportunity for more people to make money off of this. Fan-fucking-tastic. Did you hear this? Oh, they don't. What do you mean?
In terms of even preoperative genital engagement, trying to have those conversations, preparedness, readiness, support through that postoperative.
So you don't have
protocol, because some of the early challenges are getting someone to successfully dilate that's never had to engage with their pelvic floor musculature and is maybe 17, 18 years old.
17, 18 years old. Oh, wait, what? Did he said 17. Again, I thought we weren't doing this to minors. Oh, we're not doing this to minors. Oh, 17. Well, 17's not a minor. Not. And remember, if they're doing this to someone who's 17, on the male side of the spectrum, let's say, we're just going male to female. To male-female transitioners, right? Or whatever. It seems as though the male kids who do this usually start younger than the females for some reason, because there's a big rash of teenage girls who are starting to see this as their thing now, and they kind of do it in groups in schools. Like if one girl does it, there's be like 5 or 6 girls. There's one, I remember seeing a person talking about in their kids' class, 13 of the 18 girls claimed to be trans in one classroom. I'm like, okay, this is absolutely social contagion. This is absolutely a fad that everyone, again, the thing is right now is teachers praise this so much. It's so pushed as propaganda in the schools that who wouldn't want to have that protection of being something different? Nobody wants to be just, and I hate to use the word normal, but nobody wants to be normal anymore, because there's social credit in being different. There's social credit in being oppressed. There's social credit in being the other that you don't want to be othered, because of the praise and support you get when you are that other. And this little interview right here just tells me that this is a giant experiment on kids. They don't have this thought out. They don't know what the the barriers that kids should be informed about. They don't know how to inform the parents. In fact, they don't inform the parents of all the things this guy's saying. That, hello, Jimmy Das Hotep, how you doing? They don't know what they're doing. The fact that in 2022, the president of the World Professional Association of Transgender Health finally comes out and says the fact that 100% of her patients, male to female, who went on puberty blockers will never have an orgasm. Are they telling the parents that? Does a kid, a 10 or 11-year-old who's thinking about going on puberty blockers even have any idea what the fuck that means? And do the parents who are virtue signaling, trying to be special parents because they have a special kid, because it's not Munchausen by proxy, but it is certainly kind of, look at me, look at how great I am so supportive of my transgender child. In fact, it makes me special. I might get on 60 Minutes, or I might get on a TV show like Jazz Jennings' mom, or I might get extra praise from the teacher. My child might be protected more, because if you don't protect my child, then you're transphobic, and that protects the child. It's insane. And again, I say it all the time. the mental health crisis that's coming is going to be not just eye-opening, but it's going to be earth-shattering. It's going to be when they finally figure out what they're doing, like some of these other countries figured out. I think one thing that's going to happen in this country, the lawsuits are going to be crazy, right? At least I hope so. I hope some of these people get sued into oblivion. But they just, I hope some people go to jail. I really do. I hope some people go to jail because some of these doctors are so unethical, and I don't know what you can do about it. But they'll figure it out eventually. We're figuring it out in some states. Obviously, there's states there that probably won't ever figure it out, and it's going to require some pretty heavy-duty lawsuits in some of these states like California and Minnesota and Washington, states where they have passed laws where you go, you what? You let my 13-year-old run away to California and without any consent of the parent from Arizona or Nevada or, somewhere else, you let my kid go on puberty blockers and have surgery? You what? Without any consent, without any, with no rights to the parents? It's going to be terrible for them. I hope it's terrible for them. So anyway, there's a this full interview is going to be in the links today. Like I said, I didn't think I'd have time to get to it, but the full interview, I have both that clip and then this clip that says Fourth Wave Now. Here's the interview with Dr. Blair Peters in full. He and his interviewer admit quite openly how little gender doctors know about the outcomes for medically transitioned minors. We'll know in 5 to 10 years. They admit this is an experiment. They don't know. In fact, the drugs they use are still off-label use. The FDA has not approved any of the drugs that they use for what they're using them for. And so, here it is. The significance of what these people are saying cannot be overstated. Openly and honestly, they state these underage patients can't give consent. They may be anorgasmic and sterile, and we will only know the true outcomes many years later. And yet, they continue. They just roll with it, roll right along. Rolling on the river. Rolling on the river. So, big time FTG to these people. They're the worst people on earth. They truly are. Now, I will have everything I've put in here today, plus all the articles I didn't get to. I'm going to post those links in the chat during the outro, so just hang on if you want to just click that link and bookmark it or whatever. And let's see, I got Rufo in there. Yeah, I got the Rufo story. So if you, let's see, make sure I got this. Did I have the Ray Epps thing in here? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I can get rid of that. I'll have all these links in the chat. They'll also be in the description later. They'll also be on the Discord server. You'll be able to find all of them. Oh, AWOL, what's up? And I appreciate you all hanging out with me today. I didn't do as many FTGs, but that's okay. We got a few in. Hit the like button before you go. Share the stream now. Right after the stream is a good time to share the stream. Hey, this was a good show or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can even, usually Green Badger drops the timestamp where the show actually starts versus all that preliminary stuff. So if you see that later, you can put that one out too. But thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday around 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow. That's it. Got to go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.